So I promised you guys we were gonna walk the whole property line one day, and we're gonna do that right now. So take a walk with us, talk story with us. So while we're doing that, I might as well kind of give our testimony on why and how we got this place. So we'll start with that now. So I'm gonna start from the property line. We're gonna start from the front, almost by the fence, the gate. Just go around the full perimeter. And to give you guys an idea of what 10 acres look like. We're about 10.3 acres. So a little bit more than 10. But for those who kind of want an idea of what 10 acres looks like, this is it while we walk the property line. But so here's the story in a nutshell. Around April of 2025, something told me start looking for land. You know, things are getting crazy around the world, and it's like learn to be more self-sustaining. Some people might think I'm crazy, but it's okay. This is my thing. I'm not pushing what I'm saying on anybody else. This is my thing and what was put on my heart. So something told me look for land. So I got on the computer, started looking for land, started getting tips on what to look for when you look for land, and I'll do another video about that. And then there's that one. Yes, there's more too. And it was funny because that same week, that weekend, I went to my mother-in-law's house, and I sat on her couch, and she's like, Maxine, look at this video. I'm watching these people. They bought land and they just started from scratch, and they built their house. And mind you, I didn't mention anything about this to nobody but my daughter and my husband. And so it was crazy, and I was sitting there watching, and I was like, Mom, I was like, before we started watching, but she told me kind of like the rundown. She's like, yeah, watch this family. They bought land and they built from the ground up, and they did a well and blah blah blah, all these things. And so I was like, that's so funny. This is beautiful. Wow. I was like, that's so funny, Mom, that you're showing me this. I said, because something told me this week to start looking for land, and I started looking, and she's like, really? I was like, yeah. And then my daughter was like, Mom, you know that something is probably God. And I said, yeah, I know. So she started showing me this video. So when I went home, I started continuing to search up things about buying land, and search up and watching that family. And then when I started watching that family, I came across this other YouTuber, and she was speaking my language. I don't know if I can mention other YouTube people here, but I want to shout them out because, man, go watch them. They're amazing. So the first one is Good Simple Living. That's the one my mother-in-law told me about. And then the second one that I'm mentioning that I started watching once I found their page, and then I started looking at other pages, was Simply Simona. And I swear everything she said was exactly what God put on my heart. How God put it on her heart to look for land and to learn how to become more self-sustaining and build a homestead and to live a little bit more off-grid, because there's so much things going down. And if if ever. I want to be more in control than whoever it is trying to control everybody else. So yeah, so we started watching simply Simona, watching her journey and how she built her homestead from the land up. And from April on, we were just looking and searching. We'd go look at all different pieces of land and different places, and then this one showed up, and God said, try for that one, that's the one. So we did. We looked at it, and everything just started falling into place with this one. And we had an amazing realtor here in Arizona, Page Hill. See if you ever need somebody. Honey, did you see these? Yeah. And that's it in a nutshell. That's kind of the testimony of why and how why we got this place, and why we were looking for land and wanting to be more self-sustaining and learn how to. This is all new to us. In the country of Hawaii, yes, but like total off-grid, more homesteady ishness we're learning as we go, and I love it. I love the journey, and I have full faith and trust that because God placed us here, He guided us here, He will provide, and everything will work out according to His will. And that's what we want to be, in His will. I mean, with every single place that we looked at, and especially with this one, we prayed the whole way through it to make sure that we were in God's will. This is what God wanted, and that we were really listening to Him. So yeah, that's basically the testimony in a nutshell. And we're still learning again. We're still growing. But that's the testimony of why and how we got this. So the initial plan was buy raw land and just build from the ground up. But I think God knows that probably would have been way too much for us. So we were able to find something that's already fenced, already has electricity, but eventually we are going to get solar so that we don't have to fully rely on the electricity in case all that goes out. We have the solar. It's a slow but steady progress. So and look, we're still walking it. Of course, we're just cruising. We're not like walking as if we're in a marathon. We're just cruising. But yeah, and we're still not done yet. So this is again to give you guys an idea of how much about 10 acres is, and the testimony of why we did this. Oh, and so really, Apayota, come here. Treat. Come get Treat. So the initial thing when we did get it was like, we'll just, get it as a second home. We're gonna stay in Vegas as long as we can, and try to manage both homes. But now it's coming to a point where it's just like we just want to be here more, so we're trying to transition faster to make this our primary residence, and probably gonna look into selling out the Vegas selling the Vegas or renting out the Vegas home as soon as possible. And go from there. But yeah, we're still walking it. Still walking the 10 acres. And if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. When it comes to buying land, a few things that I've learned is, one, and I have a full list, but off the top of my head, one, search the county to make sure that whoever's selling you the land or the property is the owner or is the person that has authority to even sell you that land. Second, check if there's any easements. Easements could be like road easements, or somebody else can have access to get to their property through your property. Check if it is in a flood zone. All of this can be checked with the county that you're buying land from. What else? See if you have the mineral rights. So basically, if you were to strike gold or find some kind of mineral, that you have the right and the ownership to of that being yours. Because sometimes when you buy land, you own the land, but if there's minerals, the person who sold you the land, or whoever, the county or whoever, is like, oh, that's my minerals, and you can't do anything because you signed it saying that you gave them access to have the mineral rights. What else? You want to make sure you don't have, unless you want, make sure, look at the washes. And again, that comes into play with the flood zone. You want to look at the washes, the topography of the land. And you can call whatever county, or see if the county website has all the information to see if there's big washes that run through your land. Because if you're gonna use the wash for something, then you don't want really big washes. I'm going around this way, in your land, because you can't use that. You can't build on it. I guess you build like a bridge over it or something, or like I said, if you're gonna use it basically to build maybe I don't know, like trees and greenery around that, which I have like a little small wash, and we're not in a flood zone, but I'm gonna use that wash. I'm gonna use eventually build citrus trees, fig trees, all kinds of things that we can eat, because that's our goal, to be more self-sustaining and to eat from our land. And eventually the house comes first. We have to at least get the house livable, or we can live comfortably in the house, and then eventually I'll start growing and learning and growing more food, and getting animals in here for food and for pets, and and we're still walking the 10.3 acres. So again, just giving you an idea. So we're on this side now. Remember, we were just all the way on that side earlier. But yeah, I hope it was a lot of great information. And again, if you have any questions or any concerns, or please feel free to comment below, and I'll answer your questions or whatever information you need. Like and subscribe and share our page, and still at it. This is the far right corner of the property, and going around, we're almost to the gate again, but here is So look, I'm almost at 16 minutes. So you walk around 4 times, and I would say you have a at least a 3 mile, maybe less, a little bit less than 3 miles, maybe more. Because when I go walking in Vegas, I do about 3 miles, at least 3 miles every day, and it takes about maybe 50 minutes. So if you walk this 4 times in an hour, you have 3 plus miles of walking. And if you need more, then just keep walking. But yeah, so now we're at the gate again, and that's just an idea of the perimeter of, again, like we have 10.3 acres, and look, there's still so much space, like all of that there, that's not even touched. So I mean, 5 acres, 1 acre, 2 acres is good. I mean, even 1 acre is good to start learning to live more self-sustaining and be able to grow food and homestead and live off grid. And yeah, oh, that's the other thing you want to look for. Is there a well? Are you going to water haul? All of those kind of things. But yeah, that's our walk of the property, and thank you guys for watching and listening. Love you all. God bless. Bye-bye.